The carbon cost of AI, how data centers drive a surge in emissions. Artificial intelligence, AI, is revolutionizing countless industries, from healthcare and finance to transportation and entertainment. Yet, behind the transformative breakthroughs and productivity gains lies a less discussed reality: the environmental cost of powering AI. As AI technologies proliferate, a direct challenge emerges in the form of rising electricity consumption and increasing operational emissions from expansive data center infrastructure. AI's expanding digital infrastructure, one of the most significant drivers behind AI's environmental footprint, is the rapid expansion of data centers. These facilities form the digital backbone that not only hosts AI applications, but also supports massive computations during model training and inference. According to the Greening Digital Company's 2025 report, electricity consumption in data centers increased by about 12% per year between 2017 and 2023, roughly 4 times faster than global electricity growth. Such rapid growth indicates that as AI becomes more ubiquitous, the scale of digital infrastructure required also grows exponentially. Data centers are at the heart of it all. They house thousands of servers that crunch data around the clock. With large tech companies, many of which are heavily invested in AI applications, relying on these centers, a surprisingly small group of digital incumbents now account for half of the total reported electricity consumption in the sector. In 2023 alone, 164 digital companies reported a collective electricity use of 581 terawatt hours, TW hours, which represents 2.1% of global consumption. These figures make it clear that AI-driven operational growth directly contributes to a compounding demand for energy. Operational emissions on the rise. The operational emissions of companies, specifically those associated with direct energy consumption, Scope 1 and Scope 2 emissions, are rising swiftly. The report underlines that 4 leading AI-focused firms saw their direct emissions increase by an average of 150% compared to 2020 levels. This surge is not limited to energy-intensive computations. It is also a reflection of the growing reliance on power purchase agreements, PPAs, and renewable energy credits, which, while mitigating market-based emissions reporting, cannot fully offset the reality of rising energy use drawn from often carbon-intensive grids. These dynamics underline an important concern. While many digital companies are actively pursuing renewable energy and setting ambitious net-zero targets, the pace of AI-driven infrastructure expansion is outstripping the growth in renewable energy supply in many regions. In other words, without coordinated efforts to scale renewable supply or enhance energy efficiency, the environmental cost of powering AI could continue to escalate. Why data centers struggle to keep up? Several factors compound the challenge of managing energy use in data centers supporting AI. Exponential AI model growth. Modern AI models, such as those used in generative tasks, are becoming significantly larger and more complex. With each new model iteration requiring even more compute resources, the baseline energy requirement increases. Studies suggest that processing levels of AI, from a single token in a natural language model to training an image generation system, can be surprisingly high when measured in carbon terms. Cooling and infrastructure demands. Beyond mere compute power, data centers require intensive cooling systems to manage the heat generated by continuous hardware operations. This cooling often consumes substantial amounts of water and additional energy, further contributing to the overall environmental footprint. Lagging renewable integration. While many companies have made strides toward procuring renewables, reports indicate that the pace of renewable energy growth is still behind the surge in electricity demand driven by AI infrastructure expansions. In some regions, grid constraints and regulatory challenges add another layer of complexity. Addressing the challenge. Pathways for sustainable AI. The good news is that the pressure brought on by these challenges is also spurring innovation in data center design and operational strategies. Companies are beginning to recognize that efficiency gains, from optimizing AI model architectures to retrofitting cooling systems, can have a dual benefit: reducing operational costs while also curbing carbon emissions. Some of the recommended pathways include technological innovation for efficiency. Research at institutions like MIT suggests that by rethinking model training processes and investing in newer, more energy efficient hardware, companies can significantly reduce the energy per computational unit. Strategies include dynamic scaling of compute resources during periods of lower demand and harnessing innovations in chip design to improve energy efficiency. Renewable energy expansion. Companies must raise the bar for renewable integration. Although a growing number of firms have committed to 100% renewable electricity, only a handful have managed to back those commitments with on the ground, renewable capable infrastructure. Governments and utilities can further assist by creating favorable policies that encourage on site renewable generation and robust PPAs. Regulatory and collaborative approaches, some regions, such as Ireland, are beginning to impose requirements that data centers contribute additional capacity to local grids. Broader scale regulatory frameworks could standardize reporting, incentivize energy efficiency, and ensure that new data center growth is guided by sustainable practices. Looking forward, the impact of AI on emissions represents both a challenge and an opportunity. As organizations continue to embed AI into their operations, their ability to innovate sustainably will determine the future environmental trajectory of the digital sector. The Greening Digital Companies 2025 report provides a crucial benchmark, indicating that while progress is evident in corporate target setting and renewable integration, the scale of AI-driven growth necessitates even more ambitious and verified actions across the industry. For stakeholders, from regulators and corporate leaders to technology innovators, the imperative is clear: align technological ambition with sustainable action. Only by integrating efficiency measures, expanding renewable energy adoption, and enacting supportive policy reforms can the tech sector ensure that the transformative potential of AI does not come at an unsustainable environmental cost. You've been listening to Sustainability Soundbites from E+E Leader. For more information on sponsorship opportunities, reach out to our team today.